third Americans are obese, another third is overweight.
Obesity is the biggest threat to the health, welfare, and future of this country.
I've always been overweight.
I've got diabetes,
Sleep apnea, heart disease.
everything's hurting now.
It's a lot easier to lose weight than it is to keep weight off.
This is probably going to be the first generation of children who are going to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents.
18% of our children right now are obese.
It's not only health, it's about survival and well-being of the United States as a nation.
You don't crave broccoli, and our generation has grown up craving a Big Mac.
I want to think that there's something better for me.
Unless we're able to control this epidemic, we're going to have an abundance of chronic disease.
All of us have to be part of the solution to reduce obesity.
The weight of the nation is out of control, but we can fix that.
If we don't now take this as a really urgent national priority, we are all going to pay a really serious price.
Obesity will crush the United States in oblivion.
Hey, nice to meet you. My name is Dr. Tread Rissacker, and I am your doctor of chiropractic. No card in the camera. And I'm your doctor of chiropractic, and I'm glad to be here. Having a little technical difficulty. I forgot to put my CD card in my camera, so we will not be having a camera today. But that's just
we have that camera up there.
I've lived
over there
it before.
There you go.
I can live without tech. In fact, I could actually live without the computer if I had to, I think. Talk about being dependent on technology. So happy Christmas, Merry New Year. In case you're confused, happy holidays. I like to say Merry Christmas. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and got to do the most important thing, which is tell somebody that you love them and share that with them. More important than presents and everything else, and getting together with your family. Thank goodness we live in South Florida. I see the news and I watch the reports out there, and it's just, thank goodness we're here in South Florida. That's all I'll say about that. I'm looking forward to a very peaceful New Year's. I don't go normally out on New Year's night. I think it's amateur night. Everybody's out there, partying and driving, and Dr. Tread doesn't do that. And I take good care of myself on New Year's. And in fact, I have to sit with the dogs and hold on to them because of all the sounds of all the explosions, because they're just terrified by it. They hide. My dog will actually get under the couch, behind the pillows of the couch, my Sheltie, and bury herself in the back when the fireworks come. My dog's
oblivious to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even, she lays down and that's it.
And, and I used to take her out to the hunting lease with me all the time. She wasn't too concerned about that, but she sure doesn't like the sound of fireworks. So what I'm doing is, I'm a doctor of chiropractic for over 33 years. And I believe in natural health care. I believe in finding health naturally first, medicine second, surgery last. So that doesn't mean that I don't believe in medicine or surgery, but I am going to attempt at my best to regain my health through natural methods first, because I believe in the body's ability to heal itself and to rebuild itself. And there's this natural tonicity of health within all of us, It's very easy to see that and to understand that. If you were to have a corpse and try to make a corpse walk or talk or, give it medicine, is it going to make a difference to the corpse, the dead body? I think not. But when somebody is still alive and they're breathing and they're thinking and, they respond incredibly well to all types of different modalities and prayer and medicines and chiropractic and acupuncture and nutrition and vitamins and supplements. You have a shot as long as you're breathing. And that's really, without that power that animates and gives us life, we wouldn't really have life. It wouldn't be called life. So if you're not feeling well, or you've developed a health problem, or you have a health concern, or your back is aching, or you're not sleeping well and your stomach is not able to digest properly and your bowels need a little help in the morning because you're not able to poop, you need to, I would suggest that you look at natural things first. And then if you fail to do that and it need a little help, try a little medicine, see how that works, and realize that that's probably going to be a limited exposure, hopefully. And if the medicine and these other things don't work, surgery is always an option out there. And for that reason, I believe very strongly in things natural. And most of healthcare is dominated by medicine. It's dominated by what your insurance pays, right? That's who really makes the decision. If you don't have enough money to pay for your doctor, then your insurance dictates where you go because you need that coverage. So I used to have a sign in my chiropractic office. It said, just because your insurance pays for it doesn't mean it's a good idea. Right? I have a natural remedy, something which is not covered by insurance, which can be very effective, can actually resolve the problem. And a person says, well, it's not covered by I'm going to go to somewhere that accepts my insurance. And that's usually a medical procedure, drug, surgery, injections, things like that. And I used to say, hey, just because your insurance pays for it doesn't mean it's a good idea. I mean, you bought a car without insurance, didn't you? Right? You made payments on it. You bought a house without insurance, without somebody paying for it, and you make payments on it. You financed it. You need to look at financing your healthcare. Financing, those services which are better and safer and more effective than what your insurance pays. And in today's world, we call it care credit. If you don't know what care credit is, you've never brought your animal to a vet when you don't have enough money to pay for it. Or you've never had your teeth, you never had implants done, and they come over to you and tell you it's a $28,000 bill to have all your teeth done. Well, I bought a truck that was $30,000, had no problem financing it. And when I went and bought my teeth, I financed it. And I paid it in 3 years. It was easy. And I got beautiful teeth as a result, and so financing is important to be able to do that. So today I'm going to go a little bit about my story. By the way, you're listening to the Slim Body Laser Spa Health and Wellness Show. And it's an emphasis on how today's medical laser energy, LED, laser, near infrared, far infrared wavelengths, these colors, these energy is being used to help you to look better, to feel better, to recover faster from injuries, to actually prevent neurological degeneration, neurologically degenerative conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and other horrible dementia, the slowing down of our cognitive functions. Red light, these lasers are starting to be proven that they can protect you. They're called neuroprotective devices. You can wrap a red light belt around your head 10 minutes a day, and that energy travels in through the skull, and it can actually activate and feed your brain, your tissues. So your brain works better, just like any muscle that's getting more blood supply and nutrition is going to improve. And brains are the same way. So that's a really cool avenue of red light therapy. The office is called the Slim Body Laser Spa, and I'm located on East Ocean Boulevard, right down the street from the beaches, Stewart Causeway, across the street from Fresh Market, at the intersection of Monterey and Monterey Road and East Ocean Boulevard. And I have taken an FDA cleared low-level laser device, which is FDA cleared, approved for pain reduction and relaxation of muscle tension, spasms. At the same time, that energy will also cause the fatty acids, the cells, to release their contents. So the fat cells, which accumulate over time in our body, excess ones, When you apply the laser to them, they actually cause little microscopic pores to form in the fat cell. The fatty acid is released, and then over the next 2 hours, you will burn and consume those calories as long as you haven't eaten in like 2 hours. So you want to be hungry when you come into the Slim Body Laser Spa. If you're hungry, your body needs calories. We apply this device to your body fat, releases calories, and then when you leave for the next 2 hours, you burn those calories. Every time you come into the Slim Body Laser Spa, you'll have a measured inch loss. For the most part, depends on the person, of course, but 90% of the people will get an inch loss right away. 100% will have inch loss after the end of the program. So that inch loss is because you're releasing those calories by the laser, and then you're burning them as energy. So there's no downtime, there's no pain, there's no discomfort, there's no possibility of being burned or having any kind of damage, such as happens with liposuction. There's no anesthesia reaction because we don't use anesthesia. This is a laser lipo process. And again, it falls under my belief that things should be natural and wellness and holistic to start with. And that doesn't mean that you might not need to have stomach cut off, abdominoplasty or a gastric bypass because you just can't control your calories. You're morbidly obese. I understand that. But you want to try the natural processes first. And if you can't afford it, we can help you finance it. And that was how I started this talk. All right. So what we're going to do today, recently I reached out, if you've been listening to my show for the last 10 years, you know that I actually went here when Tom Teeter and Stephen Melman were here, the duo, the gruesome twosome, as I used to say. And of course, God pulled them in a little early, in my opinion, into the oneness. And we ended up with a really great host by the name of Michael, right?
Yeah, Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. Hasn't been that long. And Mike Thomas was very interesting. He's a young guy in his 30s and very engaging. And so, what happened is as I went through this process, we had hundreds and hundreds of people call up and give testimonials. If you've been listening to this show, COVID has really put a dent on my new client acquisition. So I haven't had as many new people to do these testimonials with. Only had like 6 or 7. But in the heyday, before this happened, we were signing 5, 10, 20, 30 new clients a month. So we had a lot of testimonials, and nothing like a testimonial. Well, after sitting here watching Mike bring in his bag of carbohydrates and fast food, not really, but just not really eating, I reached out to him around Christmas, and I asked him if he would like to have a laser plan. I would give it to him at no charge, and if he got a good result, he could talk about it. If he didn't, I would never expect him to make something up. And he jumped on it, and the first time he did it, he said he knew that he was losing. It was a little slow in the beginning. He wasn't noticing it. And at his 4th session, he said he was walking up to his condo where they have like a little stairs, and he reached up with his key to open the door. And when he reached up, his pants fell down.
He had fall down pants.
He fell down to his ankles, and he was there in his boxer shorts, hopefully, and was like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize I'd lost so much weight." And the end of that process, and if you've listened to my show, you've heard his story. It was an 8-inch loss. So that was 2.5 inches in 3 spots. So he dropped like 2 pant sizes. Pretty easy for him at his 30s. And then a year passes, another year, coming up again on Christmas, and the boy's getting married. He's engaged, and he's getting ready for his wedding in the spring. And he put on some of that weight again. He likes to do he's a karaoke producer, and he does these evening things at the bars and the restaurants. So he's always out eating. Let's put it that way. And put on some of that weight again. And we gave a second plan, lost another like 9 inches, changed all of his fitting with his clothing from the wedding. And when he went and got married, everybody said, "My God, you look fantastic." So Mike is now off on a different avenue in his life, somewhere else. He's probably doing the same thing. And who shows up but Evan, Mr. Evan.
Yeah.
Evan, and your last name is Nine.
Nine,
That's
like
right.
the
9.
number. Yeah.
Evan 9.
Evan
Okay.
9.
And he shows up and he's like, well, Doc, you got a new host. I'm okay. And he's got a lot of skills in radio and talking. He's a talker.
Yeah. I've got the gift of gab. That's
He's got
for sure.
the gift of gab. So we probably clashed at the beginning because I got the same thing.
Yeah.
But over time, I started realizing that he was, every time I would talk about results and everything, Evan's ears, he'd kind of perk up a little bit. And I finally reached out this Christmas and invited him to come into the laser spa. And that's how it started.
And it's been incredible.
So, and I told him, if you don't get results, of course, you don't have to say anything, but if you get results, you're in a very important position. So we started 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. About that.
And how many sessions have you had? Did you finish the 9 yet?
No. I've had a couple of
6 or
sessions.
7. So
Yeah.
we're still midpoint.
I think
so,
I'm in 5, going on number 5 right now.
And it's 3 times a week
Yeah.
for 3 weeks.
Right.
Of course, we have a little changes with COVID.
Yeah.
So we extended a little longer.
Mhm.
And so he's not quite done yet to really give his exact inch loss. And we'll
Right.
save that.
Right.
So, you
Right.
can tune back in January for that.
Right. Right.
Because it's happening. But what was your experience overall of the spa, the process, what you saw when you came in? You were pretty surprised, I remember.
Well, let me say this first and foremost. The way you talk about your spa is every bit the truth, because you know how some people, they paint a picture, they put up a big facade, and then when you go, it's not what it's all cracked up to be. Where what you talk about at your spa, it's everything and then some. You walk in the door and you talk about these love letters, and wow, I could not even see any paint on the wall. How many love letters upon love letters upon love letters? I could not find a bare space of wall just in, going around and seeing
there's
satisfaction.
By the way,
hundreds.
There's 400 of them.
There's hundreds.
8 by 10.
I've never seen.
Signed, written
Never
in
seen.
hand by the clients with a picture of their face, not their body part,
Mhm.
with the signature.
Unbelievable. So I walked in, you were there, and you took me in the back, and I got a tour
Into the consult.
in-
Oh, that's
into the
right. I gave you a tour
consultation.
first, right?
You gave me a tour, then you took me in for the consultation. And you explained everything to me. I watched a short video, how the process works. You educated me on the process. So it's not just you walk in and they put a laser on you and you leave.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot more than that. You go in and you learn about the procedure, and you make sure that the customer is comfortable before you proceed any further.
Yeah, that you're a good candidate.
Yes.
My job is to
Yeah.
make sure that your expectations are in alignment
Yeah.
with what the process can do.
And I knew going into this that after one session, I was not going to lose 3 or 4 inches just right off the bat, because there's a method to the madness, as they say. And if you don't follow your formula that you have, that Juan preaches, your assistant there that takes care of Slim Body Laser, if you don't follow the procedure that you're given, it's not going to work. So it's they have to go hand in hand. If you go in and the laser has you lose inches, and then you don't eat properly and follow the proper diet that you're supposed to follow, then it's not going to work. It won't.
Right. And I want to be clear with that, because that's why I'm asking Evan these questions. The laser does not require you to eat less or not. It works regardless.
Yes.
However, if you want results, it works better if you eat less.
Yeah, it does. It
You know,
does, and you follow
And
what
the
you're
difference,
supposed to.
the difference between, now let's a person puts on body fat to protect them so they can have calories in case of a famine, in
Right.
case of a time of no food.
Right.
And the way you make body fat is you eat more than you burn during the day. So if you burn, the average amount of somebody burns is 2,400 calories at rest. If you eat 2,400 calories, you'll never put on extra weight. You'll be perfect weight. But how many people do that? Most of us will eat between 3 to 5 to 6,000 calories every single day. And those would be a good breakfast, a stout lunch, and a dinner with a few drinks. And that's not uncommon.
Right.
And you will put on a pound of fat to 2 pounds every week. So any process, whether it's my laser, whether it's liposuction or prayer, isn't going to change that if you don't change that.
Yeah, and that's
Right?
something that you preach very highly. You have to have good maintenance, so to speak. It's like a car engine. You have to take care of your internal engine. If you don't, in the morning, I start off, I have my breakfast. I have high protein for lunch.
What have you changed since you went in there? You're having more protein, right?
Well, yeah, I've been
Instead of carbohydrate,
Yeah,
instead of like a
exactly.
muffin or an organic muffin. Or
Yes,
something.
exactly. My protein intake has changed drastically.
Right. And that's how you build muscle.
Exactly.
So that's the first lesson we're going to learn here through this is that protein is your friend with weight loss.
Definitely.
And if you eat protein and you increase your protein intake, you don't even really have to exercise as much.
Those protein bars are your best friend.
Because
I'm telling you.
protein makes protein, and
Yes.
protein is muscle, and muscle burns fat. And over time, as you improve muscle tonicity just by eating more protein, you will have less body fat. Amazing, isn't it?
It's really,
but
truly
so
is.
simple.
It is. I didn't realize
So that
how
was
simple
that
it
was the first thing that Juan pointed out about
Yes.
you was that we had to get you on more protein.
Yes.
And you were like you weren't going to do them in
No,
the beginning, right?
I was not
He doesn't-
having any of that. No, I'm like, no, you're not getting me to drink that nasty protein shake. You're not getting me. And I'm like, I drank it and I was like, wow, this is good. Give me more.
Yeah,
It was like a drug.
Is this a milkshake or something?
It really was.
Is this
And
a peanut butter and
the way
strawberry
the way
milkshake?
that it's made up, and they showed me how to make it, and now I have protein at home, and I'll have like a smoothie, and I'll put the protein in with the smoothie or something like that, or I'll just have just the protein with some ice and water,
Right.
and it's
It's much
delicious,
and it's a super easy way to control calories. And let me tell you, the protein powders that they have today is not what they had 10 years ago.
No,
they're much
no.
better.
Yes.
And they're fully complete meals. They're called meal replacements.
Yes.
And one of the interesting things you're going to learn, and I think you're already figuring out about Juan, my number one girl there, is that she will instill these habits without you realizing it's happening. Instead of hammering it down, this is what you got to do. You got to eat more protein.
Right.
I don't, see ya.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, are you hungry? I know you're hungry. Yeah, actually, I haven't eaten in 2 hours. Would you like chocolate or vanilla? That's the way she says it.
I'm telling you, every
And it's
single
like chocolate.
time.
I like chocolate. Out comes the protein. She doesn't even say where it is or where it's from.
No.
But you're hungry.
No.
So you drink it. That was pretty. What is that? We'll talk
Yeah,
about that.
Exactly.
A week
That's
later,
exactly it.
where's my protein shake? We have people that wait.
I'm spoiled.
We have people that wait for the protein. Yeah, we've had people.
Let me
spoil
tell
us.
you, that's like the cherry on top of the sundae when you go to the spa. I'm telling you,
I know.
that's like at the end of each session, it's like there's your reward for another great session.
Yeah.
There's that protein shake right there waiting on the table with the 2 bottles of water religiously. And I look forward to that. I really do.
When we first started doing the spa, it's going on 11 years now. We know the importance of protein, and I used to, we would have the protein powders, and I would recommend it at the consult.
Yeah.
And then we would have them where you could buy them at almost like cost. It's like $25 or something.
Yeah.
And people were resistant. I don't know. So finally, we started including the protein with the plan. In other words, when you buy the plan, you get a free protein container to start with.
Right.
And even that, they would bring them back and not use them.
Wow.
So what I started doing was Juan said, let's just make drinks for everybody. In other words, free protein drinks
Yeah.
for anyone that's at the spa when they come in.
Right.
So she started instilling those protein products into the program as a reward. And, you know, all of our results got better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a process after 10 years of using the laser, detoxification, whole body vibration, and then the use of the protein supplements. But the way that it was developed has been very effective because people look forward to it.
Yeah.
And once they get over the initial hump of they don't even know where it came from, it tastes so good.
Yeah.
They think it's, and you know what else they work really good with? Protein. I hate to get off on a tangent on protein
No,
shakes,
go ahead.
but these things work very well as a milkshake too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're craving ice creams
Mm-hmm.
and you're craving something sweet,
I'm
at
guilty
night,
of that all the time.
we all are, you know, it's true. And you can take a protein shake and you can, you know, pulverize it in a blender with ice
Mm-hmm.
and then put some peanut butter in it and some, you know, and it turns into like a shake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's protein. You're getting protein.
Yeah.
You're not eating empty sugar. And by the way, it's very low in sugar because they use stevia.
Yeah.
So stevia is a non-calorie sweetener, and it's the only sweetener that I would recommend. Okay, you guys out there, the Splenda, the aspartame, the saccharin is no good. They're excito-neurotoxins. You want the stevia, and stevia is not all the same, by the way. You want the stevia that is organic stevia. So, you know, when you see the big bag, it's really light and fluffy. 1 teaspoon equals 2 teaspoons of sugar. That stuff is chemically made. It's an isolate of stevia. You want to get the stuff that is natural, organic, and one of them is called sweet leaf stevia. They come in packets. So our products have the stevia, which is why they're low in sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you feel about, you know, the relaxing part of the laser? Was there any pain involved?
No.
Any discomfort?
None at all. You put my mind at ease again in the initial consultation. You explained how everything is going to work. This is what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. I watched the video. I saw everything. I did my homework. And from the first treatment going forward, I was very comfortable. I really, truly was. There was no burning sensations. And that was my biggest fear. Everybody thinks laser, it's going to be hot, it's going to burn. I felt no discomfort, no pain.
Nothing like it, maybe
No.
like a heating blanket, the lowest setting, like a heating blanket.
If even
right?
that, then that's even an understatement.
Right.
Just a very, it was a very warm, relaxing feeling, believe it or not. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally felt like, I mean, it is a spa, but I felt like I was in
a spa,
or like I don't want to say
it
real
is a medical
spa.
office, but it's like being in a spa.
It's great. I mean, I lay down on this table. I had a pillow behind my head. She makes sure that you have a pillow underneath your legs. She wraps you with the lasers. You go 20 minutes on your belly, then 10 minutes on your side. And I was and there's very relaxing, tranquil music playing, and you're laying there. You put on the laser sunglasses that make you look like a Hollywood star. And it was a great experience. It really was.
Yep. So that's very interesting. And that's exactly the best way to describe it is, you know, you don't have to have pain. You know, they say no suffer, no pain, no gain. That's not true here. This is a non-invasive, non-dangerous process. And the results are measurable and they're documentable. And it's just as clear as any other type of device that is measurable and predictable. And that's really important. So after the red light's applied, then you go into what we call our whole body vibration area.
That was an experience.
Okay, so this is something that might sound a little scary to some people. They know some people are, you know, when they think of vibration, they think of a machine that maybe would hurt them or standing on something platform. But these are devices which help to promote circulation is what they're doing. They're helping you to move your body very gently by moving you side to side. So it's called a triplanar movement. And so if you were to stand on like a seesaw, kid sits on one side or the other. And if you were to stand in the very middle where it goes up and down, that's what that machine is doing very fast, from 10 times a second up to, 30, 40 times a second at the higher speeds. And what it does as it's moving you up and down, it's helping release those calories that the laser just opened up the fat cells. So the laser opens the container. The whole body vibration moves the food into the visceral system, into your kitchen. And then for the next 2 hours, you burn the energy. You eat the food that the laser released. So what was your experience with the whole body vibration? I want to explain it first so everybody isn't scared.
Yeah. And it's funny the way you explained it. I kind of think back to the old days where people would do that, but they wouldn't stand on the vibration
they use
plate.
the belt.
They use the belt.
And there was some that worked actually.
Yeah. But the vibration plate was, it was I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I got on it the first time.
Take your shoes off?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Very sanitized, by the way.
You got the gloved hand, right?
Got the
make sure you got
hand.
the glove
Make sure you got the glove hand. It's very sanitary there too, by the way. Extremely.
And I want you to know,
very
Evan is
clean.
concerned about that.
Yes,
that's a big one for Evan.
Yes.
He doesn't.
I'm very, very.
He's been masked since COVID.
Yeah, it's very clean.
Got
You
his
walk in, and it's really a great experience. Got on the vibration plate, picked up the remote control, hit power, and then I hit start, and it started going. And you walked in and like, crank that thing up to 10. So I'm like, I put it on 10 and it got going. It you told me you can do 10. 10 will be good for you.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute timer.
Right. It's a 10-minute timer. And then there's, I guess another adjustment where you can adjust the pulsations.
You can adjust the speed.
There's the speed. And you had me go up to 10.
And then you can bring your feet closer together for less movement.
Right.
Separate your feet.
I learned that on
my
own. I learned that on my own. The wider your stance, the more movement you're going to have.
because you're standing out on the end of the seesaw.
Right. Exactly.
And also, if you bend your knees, it focuses more on your legs and your buttocks. Straighten your knees, bend forward. It moves your belly more.
Yep. And I've done that. I have done that, and
you feel the circulation, right? The itchiness, the tension.
Yeah.
I don't say tension, but it itches.
It itches
That's
a little bit,
circulation.
but I can definitely notice a difference when I'm done. And I do 2 10-minute sessions on the vibration plate, and then I have my treat at the very end. I'd like to call it my treat. And it's just an overall great experience. And last night I went out for an event for my kids. It was their birthday, and I put on a pair of pants I haven't put on in a long time, and they fit really nice. And I'm like, wow, that felt good. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And you yourself and a few other people have even said to me, wow, your face looks thinner.
Yeah, you look too right away. I noticed it.
And I've gotten on the scale at home because I weigh myself because I want to know what I'm weighing, even though Juan says only on Thursdays. Well, that's where I cheat. I weigh myself almost every day, every other day. And in 1 week, I've lost about 5 or 6 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 or 6 pounds.
Yeah, and you're eating better food, better, you're
Well,
not
I'm eating
starving.
No, I'm not eating the junk
But you're
food.
being smart.
I'm not sitting at home like I used to with a half a gallon of ice cream out of boredom. And I told you a consultation what I used to do just because of being trapped in the house. You're bored. So what do you do when you're bored? You eat. You're eating and sitting and watching TV. Well, now when the cravings come around, it's like Juan said, keep one of these in your pocket at all time. It's going to be your best friend. And she's referring to the protein bar. It's literally your best friend. It truly is your best friend.
Right. So what do you think? Why is it that a person on their own just can't motivate, and the difference between signing up for a program and all of a sudden having the motivation? What do you think? Can you talk about that? Because you were at a point, because remember, he's been with me here about 6, 7, 8 months.
I'm a year. It's been a year.
And I've been hammering this, and he never got up and said anything to me.
No.
That maybe I want to do this, or
you offered it to me for the longest time,
and we're talking about COVID death and fat creating COVID. Injury, and Evan wasn't doing anything about it. And all of a sudden, I asked him, and he was something for I don't know what what do you,
I don't know what set me
what
off
is
to
it?
do
Because
this.
that's my focus. Remember, I'm a chiropractor, and nobody can get better when they're not ready. And there's something in some people, it takes pain, it takes suffering, and then they're ready. Others might do it because a friend or a family member
Yeah.
is really pushing them.
Yeah.
And others just get up one day and just say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Or others just kind of do it because other people are doing it. You know, there's a lot of reasons. What do you think about that?
I honestly
remember there's people listening
Yeah.
here
No.
that are just sitting on their butt,
Yeah.
getting heavier, and
Mhm.
and don't understand why they.
I honestly feel that, and I was noticing this as time went on and I got to know you, that as I was bending over trying to tie my shoes, I got this disease called the Dunlop's disease.
Yeah, I can't. I'm losing my breath when I bend over to tie.
Yeah,
I
my
gotta get up
belly,
twice
my
to
belly
breathe.
Dunlopped over my waist, and that's when the reality was starting to set in. That, wow, I'm having an issue tying my sneakers. I used to not have this issue. I showed you what I used to look like.
Yes.
I showed you at my heaviest, and I
Yes.
showed you when I did my weight transformation.
Quite shocking.
Yes.
Actually.
Big
I've seen a lot
transformation.
of everybody has their fat pictures and their
Yeah.
skinny pictures.
Yeah.
I see it all the
You
time.
were completely
Well, I couldn't
shocked.
believe it was so recently.
Yeah, it was less than 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, because to gain so much weight in such a short time
I
almost
was
makes me
obese.
think of somebody who had, a severe falling down emotionally or something, because that's something. You know, that's a lot of weight to gain.
I was at that picture you saw me at, I was at like 280, 285. And then the picture on the right, the after picture was 225, 230, right in that
Right.
area. And is it okay? Can I say my starting weight with you and where I'm at currently
sure.
now?
Yeah.
I started with you at almost 270, and now I'm in the low 260s.
Yeah.
So
And I want you to know that me and Evan are similar in size and weight. When I started my program,
Mhm.
I was 265,
Mhm.
and in 4 weeks I lost 4 inches of girth.
Mhm.
I went from a 40 to a 36 waist and only dropped about 6 pounds in that first 4 weeks. So Evan is right where he should be as far as losing those inches. You don't lose as much weight when you lose inches at the Slim Body, because you're trading off the inch loss for weight loss, because you're consuming the calories.
right, exactly.
Now, after the 4th week, which Evan is not there yet, he's almost there. The next 3 months was rapid weight loss for me. I lost 10 pounds a month
Wow.
for 3 months.
Okay.
And that's when I got down to the 225.
But that's when you started eating good too.
I was eating good when I started on the
Okay.
laser.
Okay.
And be honest with you, I was eating good before that.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a chiropractor. I've
Okay.
never really
Yeah.
been horrible with my food. It's been a long time since that.
Yeah.
But I was eating too much.
Yeah.
Not eating the wrong food,
Yeah.
eating too much of food. I would eat vegan, and I would eat
Yeah.
like too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can have the perfect food. We have a lot of people that come in that are super high end in nutrition, yet they're eating too much.
Mhm.
And I don't drink alcohol. It's been
Same here.
17 years since I've had a drink of
Yeah.
alcohol. So
Yeah.
you can't blame that. And so it was more of a fact of just eating too much food. And I exercised a lot. So the day that I started counting calories
Mhm.
was the day I started to lose weight.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I could tell you today, within about 300-400 calories, how many calories I've had.
I think
At any time.
I think right now with the food that I'm eating now and everything, I'm very close to about 2,000 calories a day.
Yep.
Which is where I need to be, that I'm comfortable with.
Yep.
I eat 5 times a day. I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I have a protein snack in between breakfast and lunch, and then lunch and dinner. So this way, there's no craving to eat junk food. So it's like Juan said, your protein bar is your best friend, and it literally is your best friend. When you have that craving, you take that protein bar out and you eat your protein bar.
Now, when you first started, Evan, we did an exam called a body impedance analysis, a BIA test. And we should really talk about that, because weight loss centers, there's different you have different choices here. Okay. Remember, January's coming around, and the number one New Year's resolution is I'm going to lose weight. By the way, hands down. It used to be to stop smoking, but not as many people smoke anymore.
Right.
And now it's I need to lose weight.
That's number one. It's always been number one.
Smoking?
No.
Oh,
losing weight. Yeah,
Right,
losing weight.
right.
That's everybody's number one.
So now what happens is what I found with one of the reasons why picking Slim Body for losing weight is a really good idea is because at my Slim Body, I can target the outer fat, which you need lipo or cool sculpting for, these outside procedures. And if you're over 50, it really applies to you. If you're under 50, a lot of this doesn't apply. But if you're 50, 60, 70, and that's most of our audience out there, and you want to lose weight and you have outside fat, the Dunlop, as he calls it, that outer fat will not respond to diet and exercise like it did when you were younger. It shuts off away from your system.
Right.
So if you went to the liposuction doctor or the person who deals with the outer fat, they're not going to help you with the inner fat. They're not going to give you any nutritional counseling. If you go to the weight loss center who does the inner fat, visceral, they're not going to help you with the outer fat or protein or the musculature. So what happens is if you go to Slim Body, we can start on the outer fat so you look better really quick. At the same time, we're putting in a common sense nutritional weight loss skills. It's not a program, it's skills to teach you how to eat, how to go to Publix, what your BMR is. And basically we want you to be free of a weight loss center. We want you to be able to go to Bonefish Grill and make a good choice, to make a good choice on a ship when you're out in the ocean. If you're overeating, at least you are.
Right.
It doesn't mean you're going to not do it. We can't stop that, but at least you did. And you also have tools and tips when you come back from that binge, which is what it is.
Right.
And what you can do to get the weight off. And the most important thing you need to know is your burn rate, your BMR. It's called your basal metabolic rate. And this is how many calories you burn at rest. It's just like your credit score. Your spending habits, your age, how much money you make, the way you handle money gives you a credit score. And that score is something that it's a barrier. If you want to buy a big house, you're not going to get more than your credit score because those are your habits. Your BMR is your burn rate in 24 hours. And it's based on your age, your weight, your gender, how much food you eat, how much you exercise. And that number is critically important to know. And once you know that number, you can target your food intake to be at that number or below, and you will be successful in losing weight. And the reason why I'm harping on this is that I do a lot of consultations with people that go to weight loss centers. And when I do the BIA, they've never had that done. The quick weight loss, the Jenny Craig, the Physicians Weight Loss Center, none of them do BIA. And it's almost like they don't really want you to have power, to understand what it really takes to lose weight. They want to sell you supplements. They want to sell you auto ship food because that's where they make their money, is in selling you these products. When you really, the biggest fault with a lot of these systems, and you were once you did the Nutrisystem, right? Is that, you're not going to keep buying that food forever.
Right.
You might get 2 or 3 months if you're lucky. Some people stick with it a little longer, but over time, it's like, I can't get my food. I'm waiting for my order.
Right.
What do I do? I haven't learned how to eat. And I think that the education and the understanding you're getting is building a habit that will allow you to be free, to empower you to eat better, because the difference between a protein and a carb. You know what your BMR is. Is that something you understand now?
Yeah, I definitely.
You were a Nutrisystem guy when
I was a Nutrisystem guy, and now I've learned a lot. You've educated me because you did that whole total diagnosis on my body.
I went over the BIA, calculated your BMR.
Everything.
Now, your
I wish I would have brought the slip with me.
Well, I know what it was. I remember it. Yours was 2,400 calories.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, 2,400.
And that means that in a 24-hour time frame, Evan can eat 2,400 calories and nothing will change for him.
No.
He will stay exactly the same
Right.
unless he exercises a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what else we have found is that 2,400 calories, all calories aren't the same.
No.
So if your 2,400 calories has been from eating pound cake, you're going to get much fatter than somebody whose 2,400 calories comes from protein and vegetables.
Exactly.
So we have to take that into account. So it isn't just an amount, it's what they call the glycemic load, how it affects insulin.
Right.
Remember I showed you that chart?
Yes.
And
I
so
do remember it.
3 types of food: protein, carbohydrate, and fat.
Right.
Okay. Protein and fat do not require insulin to burn for energy. You don't have to make insulin to absorb it. Carbohydrates, you have to produce insulin.
Right. Exactly.
So a carbohydrate food, which is high in carbohydrates, is always going to give you an insulin spike. It's going to raise your insulin very high in order to get the sugar into the cell. That's what leads to diabetes, and that's what leads to weight gain. Processed foods. If you eat proteins and fats as most of your food choices, you're not going to raise insulin because it doesn't need insulin. And thus your insulin levels will be more balanced and you're less likely to make fat, and eventually you're less likely to get diabetes too.
Right.
And they don't tell you that a lot of the weight loss.
No,
centers.
they don't. They don't tell you that.
It's low carb, high. Everybody, they actually will sell you on a weight loss process because it looks like you can eat all the carbs you want. They show you pictures of macaroni and pizzas and, listen, a carb is a carb. I don't care if it's a cauliflower crust. It's still a carb. It's still going to require insulin. And once you get a hold of that and really understand that, you are free, my friend. You are free.
Yep.
Free to walk this earth and make choices wherever you are. You can go to Greece and eat the food there and everything else. All right. Any other thing you'd like to add in? Because we're going to wrap this up.
I can just say it's a great experience. It really has been. I've noticed a big change. I was able to put those pants on I haven't worn in a long time. My face is thinner. I feel like I have, more energy now than I did before. So I can't wait to get in tomorrow for my next session and Thursday, 3 times a week for 3 weeks, 9 sessions. And I can't wait to see the end results when Juan measures me up and how much,
Oh, you're going to have your love letter on the wall eventually?
Oh, you'll believe me. You may have a book on the wall from me.
Yeah, we're actually thinking.
I'm one of those kind of people.
We're thinking of buying a bigger building just so we could put more pictures up.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It really is.
It's become a rite of passage. Everybody wants to get up on the wall.
I can't say enough. If you're listening to Dr. Tread and you can hear what I'm saying, he did not coax me into saying any of this. This is a true experience that has truly happened to me. And it's changed my life.
It's
it
not
really
a scam.
has.
That's
No,
for
it's
sure.
not. It's not a scam.
I love when people meet me and they go,
it's not a scam.
does this really work?
I
And
know.
you're like,
Too good to be true.
You're like, I'm a doctor. I've dedicated my whole life. No, it doesn't work.
It's real deal. It's real.
It doesn't
deal.
work.
Can't say enough.
I've been scamming and lying for years about it.
Yeah, can't say enough.
No, it really does work. And if you're ready to bust a move, and we have a great opportunity right now, and it's going to expire in a couple days. And that is if you call us and you prepay for a plan. Our plan is $2,800, and we can help you with financing. That's 9 sessions in 3 weeks. If you do that, you get an additional 6 visits on top of the 9. So that's 15 sessions for the price of 9. And that gives you the full 3-week program, which I did and Evan's doing right now to lose those inches. And then it gives you an additional 6. And at $300 a visit, that's like an $1,800 gift. Now, you don't have to start until January. You can prepay and then start January. We had a lady call up from Canada, and she purchased a plan for her and her husband, and they're starting on February 20th when they come down. And it was I did a blast on my email list. She was a subscriber who never signed, but was stepped on the email list. And when she got that blast, she called me up from Canada and she prepaid.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That was great. Well, that's
amazing.
big for us because, we don't have a lot of people coming in. So she's set up and she's like, I feel so much better. I'm going to enjoy because, you want to enjoy the food you're eating. And if you know that you're overweight, if you know you're in trouble, every time you over imbibe or overeat, you feel guilty over
Yeah.
it. You feel shameful. But if you know on February 20th, you're going into rehab, then you can drink and party a little bit better. And, believe me, when you make changes with food, if you're an overeater, a food addict, it's like going into rehab when you make those changes. You need help.
Yeah. Well, I was one of those food addicts.
And we don't really, ask an addict if they're an addict. They'll tell you, no, oh, hell no, I'm not. I just like it.
Yeah.
You got the problem.
Yeah.
Well, once you cut them off, you'll find out how desperate they are.
My days
And
of half-gallon ice cream are done.
And sometimes you need help. And in fact, a lot of you need help. And that's what we do there. And believe me, 30 days in a drug rehab is about $24,000. 3 to 4 weeks at the Slim Body Spa is only $2,800. And you get some great results. So our phone number is 772-223-5885. Of course, I have a Facebook page, Slim Body Laser Spa. I also have a YouTube channel, a Twitter account, and I'm on LinkedIn. And on any one of those social medias, there's contact pages. You can find me. If you just put in Tred Rissacker, Tred, Dr. Tred, into Google, most of my content comes up. I have a very unique name. There's not a lot of Dr. Treds out there. And you might want to put in Stewart so locality-wise, so you'll come up with our information. We can get started today if you come in. And if you'd like to come in and prepay for a plan as a gift for somebody else, you can do that. And you can start in January. And I think that almost wraps it up, right? Almost wraps it up. 10 seconds. I just want to thank you so much. And remember, this COVID thing will go away. This too shall pass. And hopefully you'll be healthier and better to function. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.